Hello architects, and welcome back to another RPG Architect tutorial. My name is Bert, and today, this one has been a long time coming. I apologize for the wait, but today we are going to be setting up enemy projectiles. Yes, that's right, the wait is over. It took a little doing. Locke actually had to add some stuff in the engine to get this working the way we wanted, so I apologize about the wait. He's a busy man, but he did it, and it is working, so let's go ahead and get into it. So really, the idea here is we need to save the position of the player wherever they are on the map. We need to save that information. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this entity. Yes, I'm just going to reuse this entity, the one that saves my camera position. And I'm also going to save the player location here. You don't have to use the same one. You can set up a separate one and make it automatic, but just to save space, I guess I'm just going to do this. So we're going to go to save value, and the source I believe needs to be party, yes, and the party map X, and we will do a global. Let's set up some new ones here. Just add 3 more. I'll leave a space there. I like little buffers. I don't know why. Let's just do hero X. Let's copy and paste this a couple times. Hero Y. And hero Z. We're going to use the X one on here. So again, source is party, map X, save to hero X, and then let's just copy and paste that a couple times, get our Y and our Z. Down, there we go, and paste. Oops. And let me full screen this for you. And now you can see actually there is a mouse function, so I'm just using my mouse wheel to scroll through. That's really nice. That was added just recently. So okay, there we go. So we're saving the hero X, Y, and Z positions. Now let's jump into our database. And let's see, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to copy magic shot. I'm just going to create a new one. Let's paste it. Let's call this enemy shot. I'm going to get rid of this move entity. That'll come back, but I'll just get rid of it for now. And then let's change the hue on our shot color. Let's do purple, that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to make a projection to go along with this for our enemies. Let's go to our projection, resize. Let's call this enemy shot. That's fine. Element is entity. I can take ignore source off, I believe. Is player collidable? Yes. And assign it to enemy shot. There we go. That's all we need to do here. We don't need any modifiers in. You can add some in if you want. If you need to adjust your alignment or your origin or whatever, origin alignment, then feel free to do that, but I don't need to do that right now. So let's go back over to our entity definitions. We need to go into our lich. And right now my scripts don't really have many conditions. They have interactions, but I think what I want to do here, let's create a new one. And let's put that in the first position here. And let's call this initialize. And the condition on this is going to be local switch. I already got one made here, but initialize. If initialize is on, we're going to run this page. And I don't necessarily have to have a whole lot going on here for this. Really, I can just do change switch, initialize, turn off automatically, and then we'll just move to the next page. But if you needed to do stuff like save entity unique ID, if you need to reference, this entity's unique ID, we'll go to a local variable ID. I got one made here. You can do stuff like that. So now we have this entity's unique ID saved. Again, I don't necessarily need that for projectiles, but I'm going to have that in here just for flow's sake or something. I don't know. You guys know how I roll. I just do extra stuff sometimes for whatever reason, but Anyway, so the next page, we're gonna drag a second one here. We're gonna call this aggro. And this will trigger if the player and entity touch. Also, if initialize is off. So we initialize, the switch turns off, and now initialize is off, so this should be the next in line. And if player and entity touch, which let me give him a big collision here. Let's make it like a 3, 3, 3, 1. Sure. Let's just do something like that. If that happens, then let's turn a switch on called aggro. So now he is aggroed, okay? Actually, let me put the walk on the other side here. Initialize is off. There we go. Okay, and this is just him walking around randomly. There we go. All right, so it initializes, that's off, and then he's just walking around. And then if the player and entity touch, then it should turn aggro on, in which case we will go to our next page, which we'll call... Sorry, my computer's running really slow right now. We'll call projectile. Okay. Now, on our projectile, if condition aggro is on, then automatically we're gonna play a sound effect. We'll just do combat, or maybe magic. Yeah, magic. Just fire one. Yep. Yeah, that'll work. Fire one. Then we're going to spawn projection. The value is going to be enemy shot. The origin is going to be self. And you don't need to store ID, okay? And then we're going to put in a wait here, because if you don't wait, it's just going to start spawning them like crazy. And you don't want that, trust me. So we'll do a 2-second pause to make sure to take block input off, because otherwise you'll just be stuck in place each time he fires. So 2,000 milliseconds for a wait. Okay, and that should be good there. You know, there might be some conflict with these later ones, but that's okay. I'm just trying to get the projectile working for right now. So let's go to our enemy shot, and here, this is where there's gonna be a few steps we need to take here. So first thing I want to do, I'm kind of going to do the same thing. Let's do a initialize state. Here, I'll just reuse this. That was remnants from from copying and pasting. So initialize is, let's turn it on by default. There we go. And if it is on, which it is, then automatically run through this sequence. And the sequence is what we're going to do. We need to save the ID of this shot. So let's save unique ID, local variable ID. That'll work. And now let's save the value of where the shot originates from. Because really, okay, so we need to save the value of where the shot is. We need to reference the value of where the hero is. And then we just need to do a little math for it to draw a straight line between the two. You guys know how I am with math. But let's save value. Let's go to physics object. The source is going to be local ID, since we saved that there. And then position X. And then we're gonna use some local variables. Let's actually resize this. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do X, Y, Z. Just choose X. Copy and paste this a couple times. Reassign them to Y. Reassign this one to Z. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to subtract the shots XYZ from the heroes XYZ. So let's go to change variable, switch to local. Let's go to X, do minus from global, and then find your hero X, okay? So subtracting your local X minus hero X, okay? Let's copy and paste that, do the same thing with Y and Z. Y and Z, okay? So this is close, but by subtracting this way, it's actually, you know, I'm not going to be able to really explain this that well, but I believe that, you know, if we're here and the enemy's here, it's going to tell us through that we're actually like over here, and so we need to multiply it by -1 to put it back over on the opposite side of where it needs to be. Not the best explanation, I know, I'm sorry, but trust me. Sources trust me, bro. What I want to do here is change variable again, and we're going to take the local XYZ, and we're going to multiply them just by -1. That's it. Okay, let's copy that again, paste, reassign this to Y, reassign this to Z, okay? Now these values, these local variables, these have the actual position that we want to go to. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna do move entity, do selected by unique ID. This one, you definitely, I tried self at first and it wasn't working properly, but you want to do by unique ID. So unique ID is our local ID. Let me minimize this so we get a little space here. Choose our path, and you want to use step fractional. This was added in specifically for the enemy projectiles here. So this step fractional, you can use now local variables to select your X, your Y, and your Z. There we go. Okay, and I think you want to have on is recycling, of course, and ignore invalid movement. There we go. All right, apply, okay. And then last thing I want to do, I'm going to change the switch of initialize. I'm going to turn it off, and we'll just do a second page. I'll just call it off and initialize is off. There we go. Okay, so that should be everything. Let's see if I did it right. Let's drag this over. Okay, he's just hanging out, walking around. Let's see if I get close enough into his attack range. There we go. Look at him. He's firing away. Let's see if I can get up on the wall here. Whoop. There we go. And now, right now, I don't have, obviously, I don't have any damage stored in here. So you would just want to go into the enemy shot and set up to where if it collides, you know, set up an interaction of player and entity touch, not necessarily on this page, but set up the conditions to where if player and enemy and the entity touch, it subtracts damage from the player, okay? Subtracts health from the player, I should say. But that should be enough to get you guys going with enemy projectiles. Again, I'm sorry it took so long to get this one out, but you know, like I said, there was some changes that need to be made to the engine, and we got them in there. I say we, Locke got them in there, so. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped. I hope you guys have just about everything you need to make your Doom likes, or whatever you want to call it, your first-person projects here. I'll likely do 1 or 2 more in this project before we move on to something else. But this has been a lot of fun, and I hope it's helped. Like I really do. If you haven't picked up your copy of RPGA yet, it is still in early access on Steam. It is, Locke is making a lot of strides here recently with the updated database look and the minimize button here and the step fractional, and he's working on the physics again, I believe, right now. And a lot of good stuff in the works, basically, is what I'm getting at. So grab your copy if you haven't already. Make your Daggerfall style games or your Doom style games. Make something completely different. Make something new, A lot of power in this engine. If you haven't already, joined the Discord to see what other people are working on. A great community there. And the feedback you guys give really has been driving things forward and helping us to grow and helping the engine to become what it is today. So thank you guys so much for the support there. And of course, if you enjoy my tutorials and you enjoy my music and you would like to use my music in your games, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/bitbybitsound. I've been making some changes there myself, and so there's a lot of good things coming here in the future. And so I'd love for you to be a part of it. So just come on over and hang out. It'll be a good time. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have been amazing. I have been Bert, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.